Okay, some more on audio processing. Fantastic. So let's open up a new project and bring in our audio. We're going to set up our synchronization. Nope, sorry. Great. And we see our sync points. Wonderful. Let's trim those just a little bit. Once you start getting into plugins, sky's the limit. You can do all sorts of effects to your audio tracks and make all sorts of adjustments. It's crazy how far you can dig. Good. I'm just making sure these are all synchronized. And bam, 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 bam. Great. Now the slap. And good. Okay, so last time we talked about reverb and a little bit of stereo imaging. I like to use a program called, it's a plugin created by Vienna Instruments, and it is called Vienna Mir Pro. And what this does is it takes each one of these audio signals and it sets it inside a virtual concert hall. So that provides us a couple things. It provides us that stereo image, and it also provides us a natural reverb based on real life acoustics in a concert hall. So we have our 4 signals, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can change our venue. Let's be in a grand concert hall. And fantastic. We can choose where the microphone is set. We can, you know what? I like to have it right where the conductor would be. Maybe it's a little off center, but that's okay. Great. Let's hear how that sounds. Good, that's lovely. Let's see how it sounds in Studio 2. Nice recording hall. Good, let's space these guys out just a little bit so they're sort of on different corners of the space. Let's hear how that sounds. Good. Fantastic. So we can play a lot with this sort of effect. We can choose where our conductor is. We can space our musicians wherever we want to make a really, really beautiful audio sound. And we can even change the types of mic configurations that we have in Mir Pro. It's a really, really wonderful sounding natural reverb, and lots of options for different concert halls. Oops, my violin player is in the audience. We don't want that. All right, fantastic. So some other things I'm going to show you. Now, we didn't really have many timing problems. It was because I was adhering to the click that I gave myself. Let's put this a little bit off. Let's try that again. Good. Now let's just say that there's a note out of the blue that is way out of time. Actually, you know what's great for this is our sync point. Let's give ourselves a sync point. Actually, hold on. Let's say that these are correct. Those 3 are correct. And this one is just a little bit late. We can do a special thing in Logic Pro, as well as I think Reaper, called flex timing. And it is amazing because you can select whatever point on the waveform and say, oh, I want to flex here. I want to bring this a little bit over. And everything sort of stretches like an elastic band, and it works really, really well. So we choose polyphonic. Actually, monophonic is fine because we are a monophonic instrument, violins and me. And we set a flex point and we just drag this over. Fantastic. If we wanted to, say, anchor this because everything beyond that point is correct, we can anchor it and then stretch. Do you see how nothing over here changed? Those little coughs that happen, they didn't move. So if that anchor hadn't been there, they would have moved a little bit to the left like an elastic band, but they weren't because I had the anchor down. Fantastic. And this will sound exactly together. Fantastic. So we can apply that to any one of these notes way over here. Look at that. My entrance here is just a little bit late compared to here. Let's hear that. All right, so we have a job ahead of us. Let's set a sync point or a flex point here and drag this over. This is going to fix the timing. Look at that. I'm a little bit late once more. Let's drag this over. Let's drag this over just slightly. And you always want to check your other tracks and make sure, look at this one. This one is just a little bit late to this one. So there's lots of tweaking you could do. What I suggest you do is open up the project that you use to create your guide. And that way you have your tempo structure and everything designed into the grid. You can bring in your audio files and then have a grid to match. You can say, oh, well, this happens on downbeat. Let's stretch it to the downbeat and place it properly. That way you can have everybody moving exactly together. It can take a little bit of time to do this sort of work, but it results in really, really excellent and very, very together recordings. What's nice about doing these isolation projects, essentially everybody's in an isolation booth. So you have a clean audio signal. That means you can play with each individual's timing. You can, potentially auto-tune them if you like. If I decided that my tuning of my instrument was off by, let's say 10 cents. I can raise it by 10 cents over here. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's take all of them and say, I don't like that key. Let's transpose it up by a second. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's try. Good, not too bad. But anyway, there's lots of tuning stuff you can do. Again, you can play with the reverb. You can play with the stereo image. You can flex time this and make it absolutely perfect. Again, it takes a little bit of time, but it results in great, great recordings. Fantastic. That's going to take us to the end, and let's place our finished audio into our video track. Thanks.